careers. I'm so excited to bring another incredible sixth form student to our spotlight. Today we are speaking with Jana Abdel Aty, who is going to be talking to us about being a sixth form student, the experiences that she's taking on outside of the classroom, and some tips to her peers to inspire them to achieve their full potential. Welcome, Jana. It's so great to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting this meeting. It's an honor to be here.
Exciting. I know that you're part of the Board of Governors for the DESC Interact. We are going to be talking about that. Before we get into your role and what you do, let's talk a little more about you as a young lady currently studying at Dubai English Speaking College. You're in year 12. I know that you aspire to go into potentially a law career, something to do with psychology, and you had interest in politics and history and social issues from being a younger student. What drives you to succeed at school, and what made you make the choices that you made at A-levels?
Well, about the subjects first, it was more of a, as I said in my question, I described it as a trial and error process. Obviously, that's a very general way of saying it, but I didn't sort of limit myself. I wasn't really stressed about, oh, I have to, go into A-levels with the right options straight away. I started off with politics. I even took math, and I just made sure that I was certain about my choices. Obviously, I narrowed down my subjects to things that I've always had an interest in, but then once I actually tried them out, because the A-level environment is quite different to the GCSE environment, so it is important to get to know the subject. And what drives me at school, I'd say, well, I've been to a lot of schools. I've been to 8 schools in different places, in a few different countries. And I always notice that each of the schools that I go to have something different to offer. And it's really important. We only get these opportunities once. So it's really important whenever I go to a new school that I really grasp any opportunities I see. I really make the most of what I have, because I am quite privileged in this school. And I know that not everyone can get these opportunities.
I like that you're bringing in your past experiences, and that really shows us the resilience and the interest that you're going to have in learning not just cultural diversity. And I can see why social issues are probably very interesting for you. I know that joining sixth form, we have students that come from the college, and we also have students that come from other schools in other countries and join us in year 12. What would you say have been your top 3 go-tos every morning to help you transition from the experiences that you've had in 8 other countries? You wake up in the morning and you think, okay, got to go back to school. I haven't really grasped the community yet. I'm still making friends. I'm still settling. We're going through a global pandemic. School life isn't what it was supposed to be. How do you stay positive, and how do you make sure that you're not losing time to learning because you're feeling unsettled?
Well, obviously, I can't just say that's an easy process. Even if I give any tips, it's a very generalized sort of view. I'm not saying that any of this is easy or anything like that, and everyone has very unique experiences. But I think that the most important thing is just making connections. So, I always wake up every morning thinking oh, who am I going to talk to? It's going to be really exciting because, there are new people I've never met. And it's just so many opportunities for friendships and connections and things like that. And that also ties into later, I think, what we're going to talk about, my role at Interact, why I'm the International Understanding Committee Chair. But in the morning, if I'm honest, since we're sort of mixed between online and physical school, and my morning routines sort of, fluctuate a bit because it's one day I wake up an hour later, one day I wake up an hour before. But I do think that waking up early is really, really good. The hours in the morning like my dad always used to tell me this when I was younger, but now I actually get it. The morning is the best part of the day.
Why would you say it's the best part of the day?
Well, your mind is fresh, and it really determines how the rest of your day is gonna go. So if you start your day, you know, you roll out of bed, then just like grab your phone. You're probably not gonna have. It's not the best start of the day. I'm not saying that. Oh, you know, since you started it on a more negative note, it doesn't mean that your whole day is gonna be terrible. But if you do start on a more positive note, you're gonna just have that motivation, and you're just going to feel better, you know, in terms of your mental health as well. It will just be better.
Let's talk about Interact. What made you join DESC Interact? What were you hoping you would achieve by taking on a leadership role?
Well, as I said before, I really like to grasp any opportunities I have. Again, I'm very privileged. I get exposed to these sorts of opportunities. So yeah, I just want to get involved as I can within the community. And I know that in Interact, I'll be able to benefit the community in a good way. So I think that, you know, the more you give in, the more you'll take out. And there'll just be, you know, more experiences that I'll have that I'll use on later in my life.
Tell us about your role. What is your job role, and what does that entail on a day-to-day basis?
So my role is International Understanding Committee Chair. Um, the things I have to do is basically just promote international understanding within the members, within the school, and just in general whenever I can. Um, on a day-to-day basis, again, we're still quite new in this process, and we're the first Interact Club at DESC, so we're initiating everything here. But we are going to have weekly meetings, and for my job specifically, I have to find ways and projects that I can do to help promote international understanding. So something that I want to work on, that I've proposed already, is by reaching out to an Interact club in Canada. I used to live in Canada, and my two best friends, they lead an Interact club in a high school there. So if we can collaborate and hear each other's stories and ideas and experiences, I think that will really boost our international understanding.
Incredible. What would you say are the transferable skills that you're going to get from this experience that you can bring back to the college as a student and also take into your future in that future aspiring career that you are planning?
Well, this is the first time, you know, that I've sort of worked with, like, I don't know, an official, I guess, sort of organization. I don't know, but so honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to learn. I think that's the exciting bit. It's something completely new to me. So we'll just find out, you know, what sort of things I'll learn. Yeah, and I'm sure I'll be able to implement that in the college, you know, just by, you know, having more interactions and communicating more with more experienced people, and just with the whole teamwork, you know, talking with my fellow students. I think, yeah, honestly, again, I'm not sure what I'm going to learn, but I'm sure it will be worthwhile.
Watching this right now will definitely be younger students. In particular, our year 9 students who are currently planning the options that they want to take at a GCSE level. As a sixth form student, what are some of your tips for them? I know that you said when you were sitting down and looking at making your A-level choices, you weren't putting that much pressure on yourself and you were really trying to take the most out of the opportunity. What would you offer as advice to those year 9 students who really believe the decisions they make in the next few weeks might decide what will come as they get older?
Yeah, I mean, I have a sister in year 9, so I know exactly about this whole process. And yeah, but I think definitely, I'm sure you've heard this, but definitely choose what you like and what you're passionate about. Don't think about, don't think too much about grades, and don't think too much about university, because honestly, what universities, you know, might look at your GCSE grades, but they're mainly going to look at your A levels. Um, And I think if you do what you like, you're bound to get a better grade because you're going to put more effort. You're going to want to pay attention. It's just going to be these 2 years. They're meant to be enjoyable. So don't add extra pressure on yourself. Don't worry too much about that far in the future. I don't think that planning too long term is the best thing because life is unpredictable, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. So whatever decisions they make, as long as they're passionate about it, I think that's good.
So take on the opportunities that come to you, take advantage of them. Don't worry too much about planning so far into the future. And I know be original is something that you offer as a tip. What does that mean, be original?
I mean, everyone is different. And I think like now, especially when we're in school, a lot of people worry about that sort of like social pressure of just like, oh, what will they think of me? But I think when you're original, when you show, your sort of niche, that's just so interesting, and I think people will look at you and sort of be like, wow, you're just showing who you actually are. I think that's very admirable. So I know it's hard, but just don't worry about the sort of mentality of, oh, what will other people think of me, because it just won't get you far.
Thank you so much, Jana. It's so much fun speaking with you today. And that brings us to the end of another incredible conversation with one of our sixth form students here at Dubai English Speaking College. Today we spoke with Jana Abdel Aty. She talked to us a little bit about herself as a sixth form student, some of her tips to our younger peers, and her role with DESC Interact. I'll see you all at our next DESC Careers Digital Spotlight.